told me yet if we are live yet. Says we may be. I pushed the wrong button. Alright, we're live now. Hey guys, welcome back to this stream. Hopefully this stream will be better than my last one. I'll at least last like a minute instead of like 30 seconds. So yeah, sorry about that last one. But here we go. I'm getting everything finished setting up. Hey guys. All right. Okie dokie. So let me know if the audio starts to go wonky weird. I think I fixed it. I first broke it really, really good. If you guys were here for the last stream, it was really echoey, and so I stopped the stream for a second and then tried to fix it, which ended up killing all of the mics, killing all the mics that I had. So I had to refix that. And say that again, April. Okay, good. I have my sister talking to me in my headpiece. She's Skyping me, but I'm keeping it on headpiece. So she was talking to me while I was talking to you. So I was like, whoa. So yeah, you're wondering. Okay. I don't know how well this headpiece is going to work because it keeps wanting to fall out of my ear today. I don't know why. All right, I'm going to see if I can get my comments over here because right now they're over here. So I'm going to see if I can get my comments up on my iPad so I can read them that way. And then we're going to get started. So today I'm going to do some more watercoloring because I told you guys that I was going to watercolor and I had to end up doing it without you guys. But you'll see that on Monday's video. I finally finished it, got it all edited, so it's all ready to go for Monday. So you'll see what you kind of, in really big time lapse because it was watercoloring for a project that I was doing. And so I had a whole bunch of things I had to watercolor, and then, well, you'll see on Monday. Monday's video is going to be cool. So, yeah. So I was sketching in my sketchbook last night before I went to bed, and I came up with this really cute sketch. So I thought, I'm going to try to do a complete watercolor picture. I'm in one live stream, and I might be pushing myself a little bit, but we'll see. I'm not going to make it really huge, so I think it should go fairly well. So it's this little picture of kind of this girl in kind of like a snowy area. So she's got like this little parka on, but then she's got, and I haven't decided if I want it to be like a little wolf pup or a husky pup or if I want it to be a fox, little baby fox. So we're going to kind of play around with that. So if you guys have ones that, if you have something that you think, oh, I vote for a fox or I vote for wolf or I vote for husky pup, let me know in the comments. So my sister's in the comments. So if you see Miss April, that's my sister. So she'll help me read the comments that I miss. So I've got the sketch here. I'm going to transfer it over to some watercolor paper. So I'm using my Canson watercolor paper. It's a 140-pound weight cold press paper. So I'm going to go ahead and take one of these off. I was debating whether about using this piece or to go with this one here, which is really small. It's a nice paper, I like it, but I think it's a little too small. But I think I'm just going to make my piece just a bit smaller in this and kind of, then I can crop it down when I get done painting it. The first thing I want to do is to tape this to my board. And I used to have blue tape, but I don't see my blue tape anymore. So I will use masking tape. And this is going to help it to not buckle so much. I don't foresee this buckling too bad. I'm not going to put a lot of water on it. So masking tape is okay to use, but sometimes it tears the paper. So blue tape I find is the best. Like blue painter's tape works really good. You can buy like really expensive watercolor artist tape, but I find it works the same as blue painter tape. The nice thing also about the tape is if you're doing a painting that goes right to the edges, it keeps the Keeps it really clear, or clean line. Yeah. There we go. All right, so here is the sketch. So it looks like you guys are pretty even with the votes as far as wolf and fox and husky. So I'll keep pondering it, and when we get closer to it, then we'll make the decision. So I'm gonna get a pencil. Now, if you guys are listening with headphones, I'm going to sharpen this pencil. It'll be a little loud, so take note. You might want to turn your volume down in 3, 2, 1. Sorry about that. Okay, we're all good. Okay, hopefully that didn't blast anybody's eardrums out. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. Now, sometimes I'll transfer this over using like a light box and bring the image over completely, but I decided I'm just going to look at my sketch and kind of re-sketch it out and go from there. So I want it to be not the full page. It's probably going to end up being bigger than I wanted it to, but that's okay. Yeah, that pencil sharpener can be pretty loud. So I'm glad the microphones is working this time. It was not fun when it was being all echoey. I watched so many YouTube videos on how to try to fix it. I had my sister helping me, and I think I finally got it fixed around midnight that night. And I was almost tempted to start the stream up, but I was so tired that I was like, yeah, probably best to wait until a day that I can do that. So I did. So I did a stream, or not a stream, I did a collaboration video with a Lemmy Crescent yesterday, which was fun. So, but because of working on that, I didn't have a video for today. So I was like, oh, I'll just live stream for today, which is awesome. So I'm about ready to kick this earbud out because it keeps falling out of my ear. It doesn't want to stay, which is weird because I usually don't have that problem. Usually they like to stay where they're put. So do you guys have any art projects that you're currently working on? I always find it fun when I'm watching art streams, to draw on my own projects while I'm working on them. I think it's so fun. A lot of you guys will send me pictures of what you're working on. So that's always fun to see. Trying to read the comments. They're going really fast. So drawing your own little custom pony. I'm working on a realistic wolf. That's nice. Realistic animals can be a little bit of a challenge. Also a challenge is when you get the face just right in the sketch and then you try to resketch it. Oh, and it doesn't come out the same, but we'll work on her. She'll get there. So it's Arctic fox. That might be fun too. I was kind of I was leaning towards a regular fox just because it'd be fun to have a kind of a really cool toned picture and then have just that pop of color with the red from the fox. I don't know. I've been doing a lot of cool, like wintry pictures lately. I've noticed this theme. I think it's just because my studio is so cold that it just puts me in the mood for ice and snow. So for those of you wondering, I am using a cool erase color pencil. I like these because they don't smudge as bad as like graphite pencils. I have a whole bunch of light drawing pencils. I use the Tombow brand is the one that I use only because it's what my art store has locally. But they just seem to smudge a little bit more. And they don't have erasers on the back, and I like the erasers on the back. But just drew the little wolf from my channel. Yay! Love that little wolf tutorial. That's pretty fun. I did that one so long ago, but it's still, a lot of people like to watch it. Maybe like a Narnia background. That would be a fun idea. I may get ambitious enough. I've never painted the Northern Lights before, and I'm trying to decide if I want to attempt that for the background. My dad is building a clubhouse, and I'm going to use it as a studio. Well, tell your dad when he gets done building you a clubhouse that I want a clubhouse. That would be fun. How cool is that? How long have I been sketching with these pencils? With this brand, probably about 2 years now. I mean, not with the same pencil. I go through the pencils. They go through about as fast as regular art pencils. I have several different colors, but blue tends to be my favorite. I have red, which is probably my second favorite. And then I have a terracotta, which is not my favorite. And I don't know if it's just that batch. It just isn't a smooth. It feels like there's stuff in the lead. Like when I draw it, just not a smooth flow of. Anyway. And then I have black, which I like, but it's a little harsh, so I don't tend to use that as often. So the paper I'm using is just a regular watercolor paper. I think it's Canson brand. I don't know if you can look. Can you look back on the live stream? Because if you go back, I showed it at the very beginning or towards the beginning of the stream. So if you want all the specs after the stream, you can check it out if you want to, or jump over there. We got snow yesterday, which was crazy. It's like all the flowers are blooming and it snowed. It didn't stay very long. In fact, by the time I actually got up and went downstairs, it was just very light misting on the ground. I was like, that's just crazy. Yep, I am left-handed. Both my sister and I are left-handed. I don't think there's anybody else. Is there anybody else in our family, April, that's left-handed? No, Dad's right-handed. I was thinking there was a cousin that was left-handed. And I kind of want the head a little bit closer because if you're not happy with something in your drawing, don't wait to fix it. Like thinking, well, maybe it'll be okay. Do it in the sketching part, because if you wait until you're painting it, if you're not happy with it in the sketch, chances are it's not going to change once you get paint on it. Just fix it then. I want her to be nose to nose with the puppy so she can get a kiss. So who likes puppy kisses? I actually am not a huge fan of puppy kisses. I know, it's weird, but my dog licks her bum and then licks my face, and not pleasant. Yes, Bailey J is left-handed. Yeah, that's much better. Okay. So I'm going to attempt to maybe do a Northern Light. I've never tried painting or coloring them before. And generally when I do something that big or or challenging, I usually do a couple test runs so that I don't ruin my picture. So it kind of just depends. We'll play around with it. Nope, I've never tried a 3D pen before. I know Draw with Jazza just did an amazing video on 3D pens, which has made me very interested in trying them. Who knows? Do Lemmy and I share brainwaves? I seriously think we do. It just made me laugh so hard. Even watching her video and her comment, we didn't talk about what we were going to say in our videos. And I thought, oh, I know what I'll do. I'll share the story of how we both drew the same picture for the collab. That'll be really funny. And then what did she do? She shared the same picture or same story. So yeah, that was, Lemmy and I are mutant twins. Like there'll be the big, mutant war, and they'll call us, and we'll be like the mutant twins with our mutant powers. Do I have any tips for drawing the human anatomy? I have several different videos on, like drawing people. I have a whole playlist series called Drawing People 101 where I go through that. There's a YouTube channel called Proko, Proko, I think. And if you want some intensive but funny videos on drawing the human anatomy, he is one of the best. So I highly recommend him for just if you want like in-depth like muscle structure and tendon structure and just get the nitty-gritty. If you're just kind of looking to kind of just brush up on drawing anatomy, I'd recommend just sitting down, looking at photo references. There's lots of different human anatomy reference books out there, but if you don't want to get one of those, even just, fashion magazines or just magazines of people, and just draw every day for like 45 minutes is what I did every day for a month, and you will find that by the end of that month that your anatomy drawing will just be so much better. I got a chance to meet Proko at VidCon last year, and he was so fun. I didn't even see him. They had made this a little not a buffet. There was like 4 or 5 different little snack things that you could go and get food. And so Bailey and I went to VidCon together, and so we were in line and looking, and this guy walks up behind us, and he asks us a question, and we turn around and we're like, "Dude, it's Proko!" So we got a picture of him holding our little moon pies. It was pretty fun. He's a fun guy. What is my favorite art medium to use? My first favorite was watercolor for the longest time, and then I got into colored pencils, and so then I would blend those two together, and I love using colored pencils and watercolor. So I use like a watercolor base and then add the textures and highlights and shadows with the colored pencils. And then about 2 years ago, maybe about a year and a half ago, got into Copic markers, and I really enjoyed those too because those just work right into that medium too. I like mixed media. The only medium that I've really tried, and just does not matter how hard I've tried, it's not my thing, is oil paints. I haven't tried it in the last like 5 years, so I probably should give it another go just to see if my artistic palette has changed. Maybe now I like it, but it takes too long in between. Like you have to let it dry for like a week and then work on it, and I don't like to have to stop or be forced to stop on a piece. I'm too impatient. So I love looking at oil painting, but oil painting has never been my favorite. Can I draw a panda bear, please? I love pandas. I actually have a a video on drawing pandas, so you can go check that out. So hamster videos. I only have the one hamster video, just a little cartoon hamster. I've gotten a lot of requests for hamsters though, so it's kind of moving up towards the top of my list of videos to make. So would you rather have like a realistic hamster video or some more cute hamster videos? Because cute hamster videos are so fun, but realistic ones are. Have you ever published a coloring book? I have digitally published coloring books. I don't have like a hard copy one yet. Well, I did have like I did print off my mermaid coloring book, and so I sell that at conventions, hard copy. But like an actual book that you flip through the pages, I haven't done yet. And I'm still just searching for a good company that would produce it, that gives good quality paper with it, and that's affordable. I found really good quality paper, but so expensive that I just couldn't even begin to afford to even purchase the inventory for it. So I'm still looking. There's a couple of artists that are looking as well. So we kind of are looking as a group. So hopefully we'll find something. What is my favorite animal to draw? Probably the one I feel the most comfortable. Like if I'm just going to sit down and start drawing an animal, would be a horse. Just because when I was a kid, I was horse obsessed and always was drawing horses, and it was the first thing I got to where I felt comfortable with. So it's just kind of always been my comfort draw. But I like drawing all sorts of animals. They're one of my favorite things to draw. Animals and people. Have I ever thought of drawing a Disney princess as a magical girl? No, I haven't, but now that you've said that, little thoughts. So how do I remember all the videos that I've done? I don't remember all of them. I have had a couple that I've started doing and then realized that I've already done. In fact, one of them that I did that I totally forgot I did was a sketchbook tour. And I had done a video where I had done the first half of the sketchbook, and then I had meant to do the last half of the sketchbook. Well, I forgot about it, so then I redid the whole sketchbook. And so people were like, I've seen this sketchbook before. And I was like, oh, because I totally did that already. But as for other videos, some of them are just because they're so highly requested that I'm constantly referring people back to them. So, yeah. So how do you finish a drawing that has a really tight timeline? Welcome to the artist's life. You pull all-nighters and you just, if it has to be done, then it just has to be done. So, yeah, either you can figure out a way to make it easier and not as detailed. But if you've already kind of got a plan for it, you just have to push it out and, just tough it out and make the best of it. And then you learn from that and go, no, I'm not going to do that again. I know realistically how long it takes me to do a picture, and, give yourself that amount of time to do the pieces. So how do you keep from smudging your drawing? If you find that if you're drawing in your hands over top of it, you have to either train yourself to position your hand around your piece, or you can hold your hand up. Sometimes you'll notice me, I will put, if I have a really smudgeable drawing, I'll put my finger out and I'll brace my hand on my finger and I'll draw. Or some artists will actually have a tool. You could use a long handled paintbrush, and you place that down and you rest your hand on that instead. It takes a little bit of practice, but it's better than smudging your drawing. Another thing you can do is get like a piece of paper, and I don't have one, so you can lay a piece of paper down and put your hand on it and draw. So lots of different options out there. Some people will just work away from their, so if you're left-handed, you work from the right to the left. If you're right-handed, you work from the left to the right so that your hand isn't over top of it. But I just learned to kind of keep my hand over it, or not to touch my drawing as much as possible. But so how do I draw without any effort? There's a lot of effort, and it's called practice. So it's the hours and hours and hours that you put into practicing. And so for me, I've been drawing seriously for, I've been drawing is for fun since I was about 3 or 4. And then since I was about 16 or 17, really started putting some strong effort into it. And then the last 10 years, when I kind of really decided I wanted to make a push to make this kind of a career for me, or to, be more of a professional artist, hours and hours every day. This is a full-time job. So, the 3 videos, 7-minute videos that you see during the week is just a small fraction of the amount of time that you draw. So when you see an artist and they just draw amazing and it makes you feel, I can't be that good, remember they didn't get that good just in an instant. They've put the effort and the time into it. So yeah. So do I find that I have a love-hate relationship with inking or drawing after a few days? Like working on the same piece? Some pieces I'll get a little frustrated with, but I find that if I'm working on a piece and I end up not liking it, either I'll put it aside. I try not to work on pieces that I don't like, because that just shows through on the actual end piece. If I'm not excited about it, then there's going to be no excitement in the drawing for me. There are times in each piece that I want to give up on, that I'm like, oh, this piece is not going to work. But those are really small windows, and you just kind of have to push through that. But if I'm working on a piece and right from the start I'm not liking it, then I will either reevaluate it, restart it, or just take a break from it. But I want art to be fun. Not that I don't want to push myself to do the hard stuff, but it's that balance, I guess. That answers your question. Where is my blood? That's right. Okay. All right. So, speaking of inking in, let's go ahead and start inking this piece in. I think I like it. Inking is always the scariest part when you have a sketch that you really like, and you're like, what if I ruin it? So did I find my own style? Every artist has to find their own style, and that's, just part of the art journey. And also, I don't think art styles ever finish. I've talked about this on videos before. Like, as you're progressing as an artist, I think your art style is always changing. But there are definite things that have inspired my style and have encouraged it. I think we all go through phases. I went through a Disney phase, which my art is still very themed Disney, I think. Has that kind of feel to it, I think. Some people go through anime phases. I did too. Yeah, so there's all different things kind of contribute into finding your own style. I just watched a really good video on finding your style. It was one of the artists from the Artist Collective, and I'm trying to remember which artist it was. I'm having a brain lapse, but one of them did an amazing video on helping to find your own style and gave some really good tips on that. So how do you deal with criticism when people are kind of telling you what to draw? I always say draw because you enjoy doing it. If you're in a class, then yeah, the teachers, that's their job, is to help push you. And sometimes they can be kind of like a drill sergeant and say, you know, do it this way, do it that way. And just like with a drill sergeant, you just have to do it. If it's people that are not like friends or something, then yeah, just do it because you love it. Draw the way you like to draw, not the way other people want you to draw. I mean, you always want to be kind and polite to them, but yeah, that can be tough when people are telling you how to draw. But just remember the reason why you started drawing and what made you happy and enjoy art. This is just an idea, but maybe you could draw something like an eagle in the background or something like that. I thought about it. The more elements that you put in the background, the more focus. Anytime you add something, like, so right now in this picture, if I just leave it just like this, the main focus obviously is going to be this girl and this puppy. So as I add elements in the background, it's going to take away from that. It's either going to take away or draw your focus in. So something that is a singular element, like a tree or, you know, an igloo, is going to draw the viewer's attention first to here and then to whatever element. So it just depends on what journey you want to take the viewer on. Do I want them to see her village in the background, to wonder about her life, or do I just want them to be in the moment? So some things that you kind of think about as you're creating your piece. So I'm still kind of contemplating where I want the eye of the viewer to go. And I'll kind of focus that a little bit more as I get closer. I'm worrying kind of about the inking part first, and then I'll kind of think about the background. Draw a moon in the background. I might put the moon. Thinking about doing the northern lights, which I'm kind of scared because I've never done them before and I don't want to ruin this piece. But the fun thing about ruining a piece, well, there's no fun thing about ruining a piece. The thing to remember about ruining a piece is if you ruin it, it's okay because you've learned what not to do and what to do, and you can always recreate that piece. I mean, it may not be exactly the same, but you can do it again. It's paper and it's time, but making a mistake is still learning. So it's okay to ruin a piece. Not on purpose, unless you want to. That doesn't make sense. Not on purpose, unless you want to. Yes, Valerie's talking while she's drawing, which is really hard for her to do. Do I have any tips for drawing cartooning things? So, cartooning things. I have a lot of different videos on cartooning things, but tips for them. How about keep your hand really nice and loose when you're drawing. Don't keep really tight, you know, like really rigid. Um, I find that cartoons look so cool when you just get a lot of life into them, and that's just from, you know, getting those shapes really loose and breathe some life into them. That's fun. I have several videos on cartooning. Art questions are fun. They're sometimes a little challenging to answer without like showing you guys. So they want to like, well, let me show you. See, if you draw a circle like this, it's a little stale. But if you draw it like this, it's much better. That just wouldn't go well with this drawing here. What do I use to ink in? I'm using a Copic multiliner, but I also often will use Sakura Microns. It just depends on what you're going to do with your picture. So if I'm just going to create just an ink drawing, a pen that I really like is this one, which is a liquid stylist, just because the ink flows really well from this, only this is water soluble. So I learned by mistake and ruined a picture, that's okay, that you don't want to use that when you watercolor because then it just goes bleh everywhere. But so if you're going to put like Copic markers or watercolor, you're going to want to use something that is a permanent ink. And so these ones are both really good. I just drew Moana as a baby. Oh, I didn't want to start watercoloring it yet because I'm not that good and I know I'll ruin it. However, I just might do it because of your tip. Good. Just do it. If you want, um, sometimes if you take and you can make a tracing off of your drawing if you have like a light board, or if you don't have a light board, even taking that picture and like putting it up to some light source like a window. Don't push too hard because you'll break your window, but you can trace off the copy. Or if you have a photocopy machine or like a scanner to scan the piece and then print it off, and then you can print it. Probably couldn't print it on watercolor paper, but Hoppy Bunny, do you remember me? I won the mermaid piece. Oh, awesome. Welcome to the chat. How do you motivate yourself to practice? For me, I love to draw, so it's not hard for me to want to draw just because it's what I love to do. When I worked a regular job, coming home and being able to draw in the evenings was my kind of my relaxing time. It was my hobby, and now that it's my job, I kind of was afraid that it would become a little bit more monotonous for me and it would be something that I wouldn't enjoy as much. But amazingly enough and thankfully enough, I still love doing it. In fact, when I go on vacation, even when I was at Disneyland with my parents and Eva, I just couldn't wait to get home, just because I wanted to draw and paint. So, oh, the infamous artist block. How do you find inspiration when you have artist block? There's so many different things you can do. For me personally, uh, getting out of the studio and getting a breath of fresh air can be inspiring to me. Seeing other work that people have created is super inspiring to me. Music can inspire. Um, Reading books, all sorts of different things. Again, it comes back down to just, do you enjoy drawing? Sometimes you just need a break from it. Have been days that I don't feel like drawing, and if I don't have a deadline for something, I don't draw that day. I work on something else. Sometimes I sew or so do I have a plan for the background? I'm going to plan it as I get closer. I find if there's something that I don't haven't decided yet what I want to do, I don't try to work on it yet. I'll just work on other things and then get closer to it. I'm going to look at some reference photos of the Northern Lights and kind of see if I can think about how I can move my paints around to make it look like that. Surprisingly, I've never done the Northern Lights, and I don't know why. But this will be a good practice. And even if this fails, I feel if I can learn how to do the Northern Lights, it'll be well worth it. And I think some other pieces will be fun to have with that. Have I ever thought of having a custom commission? I have done a few different custom commissions. I tend to not do a lot of custom commissions simply because a lot of times people ask for art that is not my style. Some people think that if you're an artist, it means you draw in every style. And so they'll ask for things that I either don't know how to draw or in a style that I can't create very well. And that can be hard. And also doing commissions is really hard if someone has a really strong idea of what they want in their head. And then trying to get that out, from their head into your head can be challenging, but I have done them before. When I have time, I open up my commission board on my Etsy shop, mostly for like cartoon characters. I'll kind of specify what type of commission. Like I don't do portraits. I used to, but those were just so stressful. So like pencil portraits, I don't do those anymore. How do you know it was right for you to become an artist as your career? Well, for one, I say find something that you love to do, whether it's drawing or cooking or sports or singing or writing or dancing or helping people. If it's something that just makes you happy and excited to do, then find a way to make that your job. That's the best if you can make that both. And so for me, as I was saying, art was my hobby. It was what I loved to do, and so that's what I wanted to pursue. But I was also really realistic about it. It's hard to make a go at being an artist. It's hard to get started. It's hard to actually pay the bills. I mean, you can create art till the cows come home, but unless you have people that actually want to buy the art, you can't feed the cows when they come home. So that can be a hard thing to do. So what I did is I had saved up enough money that I could live off of for a summer. And I know that's something that a lot of people can't do, but luckily I was able to I knew about a year in advance that I was going to have to change careers. So I saved up the money and I gave myself a summer to give it a go. And it went. And I didn't think that the YouTube would be the way that I would be an artist. I was just kind of testing some things out on YouTube, and that's how it took off. So being flexible in your art, you might have a certain plan of what you want to do, but other opportunities can come up, and if you're flexible with it, you might find that, hey, that's what I really wanted to do all along. I didn't even know, because I didn't know that being a YouTube artist would be fun. So do I like to draw animals or people realistically? Probably animals. Unless I mean, some people are fun to do if it's not a specific person. I'm not a big fan of drawing realistic portraits of people, just because how I interpret people isn't always how they interpret themselves, so it's always challenging. But so animals, I think, would probably be my favorite. So I have a school project and I'm having trouble coming up with main drawing themes. Do I have any videos or tips for coming up with ideas? Oh, that's a toughie. Do they give you kind of any guidelines for it? Sometimes like in my school, one time we had a thing with whales, and I had to come up with a drawing with whales. And so, but if it's just kind of open end, like produce some art, then just create what you like. That just kind of shows through when you're working on something that you like. It just kind of pops out. Hard to learn. I'm a little late. What are you drawing? I'm drawing a girl holding a critter of some sort. We haven't decided if it's a baby wolf, a baby fox, or a baby husky. Have you ever tried glow-in-the-dark watercolors? That's a thing? No, but now I've got to go research it. Now there's so many art supplies out there that I had, like, I have no clue that that's a thing. That's cool. So I know some of you guys are working on your own projects along with me and been sharing those. That's awesome. But I think it'd be fun I think some of you guys have been asking for like an art drawing idea while you're watching this stream. So let's give an art challenge. So let's draw a theme of your favorite season, something that has to do with your favorite. So it doesn't have to be like draw a summer scene or a winter scene or a fall scene, but something that you know, like, so this would be kind of a winter scene. It doesn't have to just be snow, but pick something that is your favorite season and create something that would reflect that season. So if you want to take the art challenge, go ahead and draw that up, and then make sure to send me your photos. If you're on Instagram, you can tag me. I have the links to my social medias in the description box below. Some people can email them to me if you want to. My email's in the description box below. I'd love to see them. Draw something about your season. I just finished a boy with a galaxy skin and stars for freckles. That sounds awesome, Emily. Send me a picture. I want to see it. That sounds really cool. All right, I have to get a drink of water. Do I have any tips for drawing manga or anime style? Find what your favorite manga or anime is, and first just practice drawing that. Get really comfortable with that, and then start pushing yourself to create your own characters. So for me, like Sailor Moon was my favorite anime growing up. So I would draw a lot of Sailor Moon. And then I tried to design my own like Sailor Moon character. And then from that, then try to draw, just keep on creating different characters in that style. And then you can switch that, because if you look at like anime and manga, there can be like a ton of different styles in that genre. And so just keep on doing that with tons of different styles, and you'll kind of find that your anime manga style will eventually bubble to the top. Okay, I think he's almost ready. A little bit more line weight up here. Guys, I'm so excited that the microphone is working this time. Yay! In fact, after I got the microphone fixed, I went back through the comments, and a couple of you guys had suggested some things, and it was actually one of your guys' suggestions that I think fixed it. I'm not positive because I don't know really what was wrong, but I did some of the things that you guys said, and it's working now, so that's cool. All right, so we're gonna let this dry a little bit before I erase it, because there's nothing worse than erasing your ink drawing and having it all gloob out. So let's read some more comments here. Every time I draw while watching a video of yours, the drawing always ends up coming out amazing. Well, good. I'm glad. I'm like your lucky charm. Do I plan on making any Pokemon fan art? I should. My niece Eva and I have been playing Pokemon Go again since they got all the new Pokemon in. So I have to do some more fan art. So let me know what your favorite Pokemon is, and who knows, maybe I might draw it. They have neon watercolors. Have you tried them? I haven't tried those ones yet. I've seen them, but I haven't tried them yet. That would be fun to do. This may seem unrelated, but do you like Stephen King novels? Actually, trying to think if I've ever read any Stephen King novels. Some of his work is good. A little creepy, but some of it is good. I don't know. I'm trying to think if Val, why is your voice so soothing? Because I practice having a soothing voice now. That's so cute. Thank you. I usually am told that my voice sounds like Minnie Mouse, but yeah, thank you. I'm glad my Minnie Mouse voice sounds soothing. Let's see. Do you have any tips for getting out of artist block? I kind of talked a little bit about that earlier in the video. Yeah, artist block is a hard thing to get out of. Yes. Oh, so many comments going by. I've been practicing different parts of the body now, and I'm scared that if I put it all together, I'll mess it up. Any tips? Just do it. Get a scratch piece of paper that you're not afraid to make a mistake on. Scribble on the corner so that you already know that the piece is all just messed up anyway. And then just don't make a finished piece. Just start sketching. Like, this is I'm almost finished with the sketchbook. I'm going to do a sketchbook tour in one of my videos. But like this, like just drawing tons of things on your sketchbook and practicing it up is, you know, how you're going to put it all together. So don't try to draw your Mona Lisa. Just work on just putting a ton of sketches and figures on one piece of paper, and that will help cut down on the nervousness on it. So, do I have any favorite horse breed? I like the Friesians. Friesians are beautiful. Okay, let's find my eraser. Where did my eraser go? Where can it be? All right, let's try this one. Do I still have my hens, my chickens? Yep, we still have our chickens. They had just started laying eggs again. They stopped for the cold part of the winter, but now that the days are getting longer again, we're getting eggs again. They ran away from home the other day, though. We couldn't find them forever, and I don't know where they went because we let them free range during the day, and then at night we put them in their pen so they don't get eaten. So how did I come up with the name of Art a la Carte? I wanted something that would rhyme with art, and that was not something else that rhymes with art. And I also wanted something that would not limit my drawing to one type of art. Like I didn't want to have, you know, watercoloring with Valerie or something. And so I decided to go with art a la carte, for one, because it rhymed, and two, like when you order a la carte, it means you can pick the dishes, not have just like the, you know, like the whole meal that comes with the steak and potatoes and salad and soup. You can purchase it a la carte, which means you can just take the potato if you want. You don't have to have everything else. And so that was fun. Also, when I was naming it, I did not think, again, that this channel would turn into anything, so I was just trying to think of a really quick name. So I don't know that I would have actually chosen Art a la Carte as the actual name of my channel. Or if I would have stuck with it, I don't know. If I'd known it would have been, if I would have done so well on YouTube, but I changed it. I don't know. That's a good thought to think. Sorry, every once in a while my sister, she's talking to me on my headphones. So every once in a while we talk at the same time. And I can't talk if she's talking with me, so I'll pull my earphones out so I can finish having a conversation, because it's hard enough to draw and talk at the same time. So April, if you say something to me on it and I didn't hear you, that's probably because I pulled my earbuds out. Let's see, Val, you know the old intro with the singing. Did you do the singing? No, I had my friend named Haley. She is an amazing singer, and her dad is amazing. Actually, he's a YouTuber as well. They do the channel The Unbox Boys, which is a toy opening channel. Super fun. If you saw my Comic-Con video, they came and visited me. The dad did, and so I had like the lyrics that I came up with, but I can't write music, or I can sing a little bit, but I'm not that good. So I asked them if they would do that, and they said yes. So that is Dave DeAndrea and his daughter Haley that did that for me. So I haven't used that intro in a long time. My cat is on the keyboard. My cat used to love laying on my computer as well. Okay. The inking is done. Now it's all erased. Little eraser poop everywhere. All right. Okay, this headphone does not want to stay in my ear. All right, watercolor. So everyone asks what brand of watercolors I use. It is a mixture of all sorts of watercolors. So there's no specific brand. They're all different brands. All right. So what I'm going to do first is I'll watercolor her, and then we'll kind of decide what we want to do for the background, I think will be the thing. Except from the UK. Hey. So yeah, where is everybody from? Let me know what state or country you're from. And what time is it? Like here in Oregon, it is almost 2 p.m. So it'll be fun to find out where everybody is. All right. Organizing everything. I don't know, I'm going to have to reorganize. I'll move the sketchbook over here. We'll move this over here. Move this over just a little bit. My little face is in the way, though. Stay out of the way. Wow, you guys are from so many different places. So you got California, Finland, Paris, the UK, Georgia, Texas, Denver, the US, Romania, someone from Jupiter, that's exciting, Florida, Poland, Scotland, Minnesota, Oklahoma, Ohio. Wow, all over the place. Well, welcome you guys to the stream. I saw a couple of you guys saying you just joined. So I'm trying and attempting to do a full watercolor painting in one stream, which might be a little bit challenging because I'm actually on time constraints because I have an appointment in about an hour and a half. So we have an hour and a half to get this fully colored. So we'll see what we can do. So we're going to mix up some paints here. A little trick is this little spray bottle here is awesome. So you can just kind of mist your paints a little bit and kind of get them ready without having a lot of water on them. Kind of just wakes them up a little bit. So I use tube watercolor paints and then I let them dry however they need to. And then I can just reactivate them. It's another reason I love watercolor. I hate wasting things. And so things like acrylic paints and oil paints, when they dry and you can't reuse them again, it makes me sad having to throw away paints. So they were best ones. They wanted to see together. Oh, these are my new paintbrushes. I forgot I went to the store and bought some new paintbrushes. It's so shiny and silvery. So beautiful. Is it a fox, a wolf, or a husky? Good question. I haven't totally determined it yet. I'm really leaning towards a fox just because I think that pop of color will be really good for this picture because I'm going to try to stick with a little bit cooler tones as I put a warm skin tone on her. I say that, yeah. I'll cool it down. Man, it's been such a long time since I have done just straight watercolors. I'm like, I want to reach over to grab my skin tones from my Copic markers, but this is watercolor only. How do you draw hair? Very carefully. I actually have quite a few videos on drawing hair. So if you guys have any questions about like specific like eyes or hair or any parts of the human body, I would recommend the How to Draw People 101. Can explain it much better there than I could do explaining it verbally here. So yeah, definitely check those ones out. All right, I think I'm going to go with I'm trying to decide if I want to do like a gray tone that has a little bit of blue in it or a little bit of brown on it. So let's go with blue because that's going to make it a little cooler and I want to stick with cooler tones. So let's do that. Can I draw with coffee? I've been thinking about that as doing a fun coffee art challenge. So I don't know, it might pop up. I like to do challenges every once in a while, so that might be a fun challenge to do next. My last challenge I did was the pack of colored pencils that I got from VidCon. They were just like a free giveaway thing, so that turned out to be something interesting. Probably the worst quality colored pencils I've ever drawn with. But it makes me want to go back and redo that parrot that I did with like really good art supplies and see if I can fix it. I do the nail polish art challenge. I've seen a couple artists do that. I haven't decided yet on that one. It it looks really frustrating. Well, my nail polish is really old too, so that would be really hard. They're all thick and gross. It's fun. There's so many different art challenges that are coming out lately. It's hard to keep track of them, but it sure is fun to watch people do them. I loved Bailey's no thumbs challenge. That was a fun one. And then I saw one today that looked really fun, which was the no outline challenge. That looked really fun. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to lay in my lightest tones first, and then I can always go darker. So how do I come up with my color schemes? For me personally, colors create an emotion. And so when I look at really bright colors, it kind of makes me feel more excited and energetic. And then when you desaturate your colors or make them a little bit more grayer or cooler, it has a more of a calming, sometimes peaceful effect. So for this one, I wanted this piece to be kind of a calm moment between her and the puppy. And so I wanted to have a little bit more calmer colors, which will totally be knocked out of the ballpark if I decide to do the Northern Lights, because those are some pretty fun colors in there. And sometimes you just play around, like, I'm going to add a little bit of purple in my blue just to kind of see. So my sister is asking you guys to challenge me. I'm scared now. True sister fashion. Go ahead and volunteer your sister for something. Hey guys, you should ask my sister to write the storyboard story out and publish it as a book so you guys can actually read the story. There you go. Throw the challenge right back at her. I told her she should do that. Like, so many of you guys have asked about what the storyboard is and what the story was about. And so I told my sister, who is a writer, she should write it and digitally publish it even. And so you guys can hear the story because it's really good. But does she listen to her little sister? No. An Easter egg die challenge for Easter. That might be fun. I really like to do Easter eggs. And there are some really fun things you can do. So here's a fun thing when you're coloring watercolor and you want to add some shadows. A lot of times we just think about darkening the shadow, a darker shade of that. So here I'm doing kind of a bluish gray. But to make the picture look kind of interesting, try to darken it with a slightly different tone or color. So here I'm using kind of a purplish blue to kind of pull in my shadows. And just, for me, it adds a little bit more of a fantasy feel to the picture without, you know, fairies and unicorns kind of thing. But it just goes, oh, it's pretty. Have you and your sister ever written a book together that's been published? No, we've never actually published a book before. We've done a couple of different projects before. The biggest one was the storyboard that we did. But my sister has actually several books that she's published digitally on Amazon for Kindles and stuff like that that are pretty fun. She has one that I think you guys would like. It's a collection of stories from Ireland. So she researched all the mythical creatures from Ireland. Like here in the United States, we have like Bigfoot and, you know, Sasquatch, which is the same thing, but we have all these different, you know, fairy tales and things here. Well, in Ireland, they have all sorts of, not just leprechauns and things like that, but tons of them. So she wrote like a survival guide if you went to Ireland and were to meet all these different kinds of creatures, what you should do to be able to survive them, because some of them can be quite nasty. And it was a really fun book. So April, put in the comments what the title of that book is and where they can find it. It is a really fun read. If you like fairy tale things, I love it. So, so if you have any questions about that book, you can ask in the comments, and my sister will try to answer them. She also has an Instagram that you guys can message her on Instagram. So April, put your Instagram name up there in the comments. I'm just bossing my sister around all over the place. And if you're watching this later, or if you didn't see the title of it after the stream's over, I'll go find the link to it and I'll put it in the description box of this video. So I know some of you guys are going to watch the stream when it's not live and you'll be like, what? I can't read the comments. So I will do that after this is all over. So it's called Should I Run Away Ireland Edition. And she has a pen name, so it's not by April Flynn, it's by Bridget Flynn. So every book that she writes has a different name. And yes, it does drive me nuts because no one can find her. That's why I couldn't tell you, go look this up, because I can never remember which name she uses for what book. Val, I just sent you some email pictures of my drawings. Could you maybe give a little feedback? Let me finish laying down this first load of color, and then I will see if I can check the pictures out. I have to go. Oh, I'm sorry. See you go. I know, fantastic. Fanatic, I can read. Thanks for hanging out with us, though. It's fun having you in the live stream. have ever colored an adult coloring book and filled it or finished it. I've done a ton of kids coloring books when I was a kid. I this sounds probably really pompous. I like to color my own coloring books because they're just so much fun. So when I create a coloring piece, before I publish it, I color it just to make sure I like it. And so that keeps me pretty busy. I do have a few that I want to color. Like people have given me, don't have any around here. There's these ones that have just beautiful designs in them. And I think I've done one of them. And it's not that I don't want to, it's just I don't have time. So if I'm going to color a coloring page, it usually is one of mine just because that's part of my process. So I have to do it anyway. So, so am I using a reference for this picture? Nope, just out of my head. A lot of times I do have reference photos off to the side. I'll be definitely referencing when I contemplate doing the Northern Lights, just because that can be a bit challenging. So will I do a collaboration with Bailey J? We've talked about it. She's been so busy with her book that I didn't even want to bother her about it. We talked a little bit about it at VidCon last year. But then we just both got super busy. But I would love to do. I love doing collabs with people. I've got a couple more in the works. I have a really kind of interesting collab that I want to do that'll be a little bit different than other collabs that I've done before. So hopefully that one will work out for us to do. But yeah, the Colin Thomas adult coloring book is great. I'll have to look that one up. But I will tell you, when I colored Lemmy's picture of Sleeping Beauty, that was so fun. Oh, I had so much fun coloring that. I seriously think if Lemmy starts doing selling her own coloring books, she's got the gift of line art that just makes them so much fun. And has a style that I really like. And I think that's another reason is, I mean, the designs are fun in adult coloring books, but I'm not super hip on drawing just like coloring patterns and things. I really like something that has a story to it. So if there was more of those out there, I think that would be fun too. That's why I like when I create my coloring books, that's I always try to create it where it looks like there's a story or characters and things like that. Because I try to create things that I would like coloring. Would be fun. But sometimes those mandala ones are fun to do. Yes, Bailey's getting married. So excited for her. Hey, has anybody been keeping up with the giraffe video? Has the giraffe had her baby yet? I've been like addicted to watching that, but now I haven't been able to check it since I've been on live stream. And it would probably be now that she'll have her baby. So if any of you guys know, there's a live stream for one of the zoos, I think in New York, and their giraffe is great with child and going to be giving birth, and so they have a live stream camera going on. I've been watching it for 2 days. Anyway, someone had mentioned April, and April's the name of the giraffe. So I was like, oh, that's right. I haven't checked the giraffe in a while. So what's the best cheap marker that I can recommend? I started off with Spectrum Noir markers just because if you use your coupons, like I got them at Joann Fabrics, and so I would wait and buy the packs with the 40% off sale. You can get them relatively inexpensive, and they're a nice beginner, nice quality marker. They don't have the brush nib, which is something that I really like, but some artists that doesn't bother them a bit. In fact, some artists don't like the brush nib, so I think that's just all personal preference. I think I haven't tried the ones from Blick yet, but I've heard that they're good. I've seen a few videos on them. Have I ever used Prismacolor, like the markers? No, I've never used the Prismacolor markers. The pencils, that's what I use pencil-wise, but I've never tried the Prismacolor markers. But I do know a few artists who have used them. I know Will Terrell has used them in the past and really likes them. Yeah. It's just hard because they're so expensive to get into one media. So a lot of artists just you have to choose which one you're going to go with. And then when you make that investment, it's really challenging to switch over and try a different one. So, yeah. I have pro markers. Yeah. I'm going to spill my watercolor. Yeah, Winsor Newton Pro markers. And the only reason I have them is because they actually sent me a set, which was so nice of them. Perks of being a YouTuber. But, yeah, I would love to be able to try all the different kinds of markers out and give my opinions on them, but I don't have the funds to do that. But there are a lot of videos out there that do comparisons, so you can kind of look at those. Can you answer a question? Why don't you show your face? It's pretty. Oh, thank you. Um, basically, the most reason is because I do art on paper, so it's I think more important that there's a bigger screen for paper, but I appreciate that comment. Oh. All right, so let's ask a question for you guys. You guys have been asking me a question. So a question that you guys asked me a lot was my favorite art medium. So I'm going to pop it right back to you guys. What's your favorite art medium? Is it colored pencils, watercolor, markers, charcoal, oils, sculpting? I mean, anything in the realm of art. Paper mache, crocheting, knitting, cross stitching. Let me know in the comments. What's your favorite art medium? I know I'm missing Will's videos as well. I know he's very busy working at Universal, keeping him pretty busy. He is such a fun guy, though. Oh my goodness. I've met with him several different times when I've gone down to California, and just what an awesome guy. So I'm going to do any more tutorials with colored pencils? Oh, of course. I know the last year I've been doing a lot of Copics. That's just because I've invested way more than I ever want to admit in Copics, and there's no point in investing into an art supply if you're not going to use them a lot. So that's why they've been kind of foremost into that. But I'm trying to get back into the other art supplies mediums as well and do some of those too. So, all right. So there's like a 30-second delay. So when I ask you guys something, so now all the comments are coming in for your favorite mediums. So color pencils, markers, cheap art supplies. I draw mostly in class. Acrylics, color pencils. Photography, ink, acrylic paints, musical instruments. Nice. Well, it's fun to see what you guys enjoy. A lot of people like Marcus. I don't know why I picked that red. It's like she got shot or something. There, we'll just blend it in. All right, I gotta start getting focused here because we're coming close to the hour deadline here, and I'm procrastinating 2 elements. One, making the decision about the animal, and 2, the background. So let's just go ahead and narrow it down. Let's do, I don't think there would be, as much as I want to do a fox, if I'm thinking about this being like in the far north, there's not a lot of like red foxes out during the wintry. They would turn white. So I want something that's going to pop the color. I'm going to go ahead and make it a husky pup, because that just makes sense. If she was raising an animal, it would be a husky. So let's look on my handy dandy little Google app and find out. Let's get a husky. Oh yeah, it is on sale. Clip Studio Paint is on sale. I was going to make a little announcement about that. I love that software. Okay, sorry. The comment was that someone's getting Clip Studio Paint, which is the computer software that I use to draw, and I absolutely adore it. And it's 60% off until I think Monday. So if you've been wanting to get it, now is the time to get it. It's awesome. And again, I will put a link to that at the end of the video, hopefully. If I don't remember, bug me in the comments after the stream is over, and I'll put a link to where you can get Clip Studio Paint. So depending on what version you want, the prices differ a little bit. But I think normally it's about $40 to $50 for the software, but with 60% off, I mean, that could be like 20 bucks. So I have a lot of different collabs in the works, and so I enjoy all my collabs with people. It's always fun to work with them. And so when is my birthday? In October. October 1st is my birthday. So I'm just going to slowly build up the colors on this little husky pup. He's so cute. So do I have the X version or the normal version? Is that of Clip Studio Paint? I have the, oh goodness, what version do I have? I have the one where you can do a lot of animation with, and it is the, popping it up right now, let's see. Okay, go down, and yeah, I have the X version. And the only reason I have that is because I want to do animation, and it allows you to do longer animation. But if you're just wanting it for drawing, then the Clip Studio Paint regular version is perfect. So, and you can even do animation with that one. I think you can only do like 3 seconds, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it is. That's a lot of time for animating, because you can put the clips together in an editing software and stuff, and that's cool. But so how do you find complementary colors? That's a whole like color theory thing. It can be really challenging or really easy just depending on how detailed you want to get to it. But if you go and just Google the color wheel, you'll kind of see how the colors go together. Maybe I'll do a video on that later. It'll be easier to explain if I can actually show you. My birthday is the 3rd of July. Happy birthday in July, Sophie. You know, if you would have waited one more day, we would have like set off fireworks for your birthday. The husky is looking so cute. Thanks. All right. All right, I'm getting to the point, guys. I have to find my something. Hang on. I'll be right back. There we go. Bam. So a lot of times I get asked, how do I make those really great circles? One way is using a stencil or something to draw around. So I collect embroidery hoops, and they make really great frame circles. Okay, but I don't know if that, I don't know, I might want that bigger. Hang on. Now I'm getting crazy. That's just silly. I like it, but I think it's too small. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why you draw lightly. If you draw lightly, you can erase it. It doesn't show up as much. So I'm going to have this background pretty dark. So, all right, I'm going to freehand this one now because I want it to be bigger. Sorry, I can't read the comments right now. Drawing. All right. There we go. Okay, now switch from husky dogs to looking up Northern Lights. Northern Lights. All right, so I'll look at some different images and get really intimidated. Okay. Ooh, that's pretty. That's really pretty. But I want more traditional. I want kind of that greenish. So the thing we're going to do, we're going to start from our lightest shade and go darker and hope this works. Ooh, that's pretty. But is that photoshopped? I don't remember Northern Lights having that much purple in them. I don't know if you guys can even see that. That's really dark. Hang on, let me turn my screen brightness up a little bit. There, that's better. You guys can see that now. Yeah, that's the hard part is when you think they might be photoshopped. So let's stick with something like this color here. So we'll start with that green. All right, time to make some decisions. Okay, guys, this is where we take chances, make mistakes, get messy. I sound like Mrs. Frizzle from the Magic School Bus. Which, did you know that Miss Frizzle, if you watch the Magic School Bus, which is a book series and a kids' TV cartoon show, that Miss Frizzle's first name is Valerie. So I guess I can sound like her because maybe she is me or I'm her. Okay, so I'm going to fill this all. Okay, I'm going to fill this all in with water. No going back now. No, I could stop now because it's just water. When I add the color, that's when it's no going back. So with watercolor, the thing to remember is the color is only going to go where the water lets it. And the water is going to, or the color will spread faster with more water. So if you have it just slightly damp, the color will spread just a little bit. If you have a lot of water, it will spread really fast. So I think of watercolor as kind of, the water part is like the crowl, and the paint is like the wild horses running. But you could, thank you guys for all the encouragement, because I really am scared. Now you get to ultimately see, will I mess this up? There's no editing in live streams. Okay, I'm going to get a round brush. You have to have just the right tool. Just the right one. Who's going to be my friend? Where's my red paintbrush? I'm going to use my red paintbrush. Do I want this one? No, I think I'll use this one, because this one was sent to me by one of you guys. I'm going to use it. All right, get some green here. Go in, a little bit of yellow. All right, here we go. Past the point of no return. I've never done this. The green worm. And that kind of fades out a little bit, so I'm going to fade it down here a little bit. You guys are awesome. You guys are so encouraging in the comments. I'm trying to paint, but I like keep looking up and looking at the comments. All right. Now, the thing is, we have to work fast because we don't want the paint to dry so that it won't blend. So I'm going to start down here with my dark. All right. Rinse that off and then we'll blend these together a little bit. It'll be something, you guys. I don't know what it will be, but we will. You guys hashtagging the green worm. You guys are hilarious. See, what I'll do is after I finish this, I will take this and Photoshop a photo in the background. Oh, this would have been something that probably should have practiced before I decided to do something as lofty as all this. But here we are. All right, now we're going to take and blot. It's all about layers. I say like I know what I'm talking about because I've never done this. But in theory, we should be able to get these colors in here. Now this is when I need those neon paints you guys were talking about. That would be awesome. It does look like the planet Earth. You're right. All right. I'm making a total mess of this painting. This is, I mean, like, oh, so many things. All right. So anytime you guys have ever asked me, what do you do when you're scared to do something and you don't know? This is what you do. This is what it looks like. I don't know what it's going to look like. But it's about not giving up on your art. See, if I want to use my like Copic colors so bad because I have like the perfect colors for this, but it's okay. So you guys think the purple was a good idea? Okay. So stressful. Oh. All right, let's get. Should I play music while I'm drawing? Yes. Like if I wasn't doing a stream, I would definitely be having my own epic music playing in the background. But YouTube doesn't like me to do that on streams. They frown on it. I know I want to use my Copics, but this is a watercolor challenge. I'm trying to do this in watercolor. So how did I learn to use watercolors? By doing this. Just doing it. Not knowing if you're going to succeed or fail. Just learn as you go. I mean, you can take classes, and that's always awesome. Someone who has already painted the Northern Lights could say, well, you're going to want to do this first. I would suggest not doing it on a live stream with how many people are here? 137 right now? Yeah. It tends to add a little stress, but you guys are so encouraging. Thanks. All right, let's see. Hey, Corolla markers. Corolla. Bleh, I can't talk. I can't paint and talk at the same time. Crayola markers are awesome. I like them. Can you turn Copic ink into watercolor? You can. It's permanent, and once it gets placed, it's a little harder to move around. But yeah, a lot of artists do that. Yeah. Get going, then you forget to breathe, and you're like, oh yeah, oxygen. That's a good thing to have. So advice for young artists is to just create. I wish when I was a young artist, when I was in my early teens, that I would have just spent more time drawing. I mean, I did a lot of drawing, but I drew the same thing over and over and over again, which was a horse or a certain position of a princess. And I didn't push myself to try different things. So if I had to redo that again, I would have really made myself study artists that I enjoyed and really push myself to spend more time and not try to be as fast. Like I would try to create a piece and have it done as fast as possible and not put in the time and effort it takes to really make that piece pop. Where I know I could have. I could have had the ability to do that, but I was just impatient. So I wish I would have had more patience while practicing as well. So those are my tips. Have I ever used black paper or canvas? Yes, I have. In fact, I think I just did a video on one, didn't I? Speaking of remembering what videos I did. Yeah, I did the doodle one with metallic paints. I have metallic paints! You guys, I have metallic... Oh, sorry. Warning if you're listening with your headphones. You guys, I have metallic paints! Sorry. Okay. I forgot I had these. I'm very excited to use them. Sorry for all the eardrums. Send your hearing bill to my sister. Okay. Sorry, guys. Was my voice still soothing? Oh, I'm so sorry, you guys. Oh, goodness. Yes, it scared me too. Oh, goodness. Sorry. Whew. All right. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, hey guys, guess what? I have metallic paints. Let's finish this up and then we'll let it rest a second and then we'll add the metallic paints. Okay. Now that I totally have wrecked any eye makeup that I had on there. Okay. I need to clean up some of this because I got really crazy with my paints and there's paints everywhere. So I need to get a little bit tougher of a brush to scrub that out. So let me, especially like right up here, I think when I was blotting the paint off, I blotted it right onto our little hood there. Yes, I think the metallic paints thing is going to go down in my video history. If you ever want to see Valerie get excited, just remind her she has metallic paints. Yeah. Some of these I'll have to take out in Photoshop because I got into painting and it's a mess. Okay. I also didn't mean to bring down the paint too far because I wanted her kind of sitting on some snow, so I might put in some metallic paint. Alright, before it gets too dark, or too dry, I want to darken that blue up at the bottom there. Yeah, nice, really dark blackish blue. Darker than that. I'll make kind of a little silhouettes of some trees, maybe. This is the time where I turn into Bob Ross. So maybe in your happy little world, you have a little forest in here. So we're just gonna chop up some trees there. Here's one little tree living right there. Let's just give him a little friend. And there's our little friend. Happy little forest. There we go. Happy little forest. That's my Bob Ross for the day. See, there is no sleeping in my streams, man. You never know. And I will start shouting at the top of my lungs. Metallic paints. Now, the funny thing will be is if I forget to use my metallic paints in the painting, which we have about 20 more minutes before I have to leave or get ready for an appointment. So we have to have a little time constraint. Sorry, I can't look up to read comments right now because delicate work going on here. So you'll see some of the trees are a little bit, when I put the paint down, it kind of fades out and blurs a little bit, and that's because the paper is a little bit wetter, which makes it look like the trees are a little bit more in the background. And then as paper dries, then I can add in some more tree shapes and they'll stay a little bit clearer, like the lines, because there's less water, so the paint isn't going to travel as much. So then that brings those trees to the foreground. Control your water and you control your paints. Sounds epic. Right. Have I ever tried watercolor pencils? I have. I've never gotten a really nice brand before to try, so I've never been super impressed with them. I've tried kind of a medium student grade brand, and I was like, yeah. So maybe one day I will get some, maybe for my birthday or something. So I'm going to take this and just wet the paper down a little bit. You just blot it, and it just pulls up the paint. Just make sure that it's clean so you don't track paint all over your paper. Yeah, it just makes it a little bit more interesting. If it's too harsh, you can kind of just blend it in a little bit. There we go. I feel like I need to blend this down just a bit. Bye, Jetstream. Thanks for hanging out in the live stream with us. Okay, so guys, does this look like Northern Lights to you? Kind of looks like it to me a little bit, but I think the more I do it, obviously the better I'll get, because it's all about practicing. But I'd say for a first time ever painting Northern Lights, it's okay. I just used my shirt as to wipe my paint off. Luckily, it was purple paint on my purple shirt. That's good. So I don't know if you guys have ever been in that situation where you're live streaming and have over 100 people watching you, and you're suddenly like, I have to go to the bathroom. The stresses of being a live stream artist. You're like, maybe I shouldn't have drank so much water. Oh, well. Can't wait. Oh, I feel some more Bob Ross coming in here. Maybe in our little world, there's a little path going off into the woods. Just create that little path right there. A little happy little path. Okay, let's use some metallic paints, you guys. Okay. I'm so excited. This might ruin it because these paints are really, really opaque, which means super not see-through. So I'm going to thin them out. So when it hits it in the light, the northern lights will shine. If I do it right. You'd be like, I don't see anything. It's because it's really light. When I'm done, I'll twist the paper for you so you guys can see them. But it'll make a really cool effect. Yeah. This has been one of the funnest paint sets that I bought. I really have been having fun playing with this. So this is the Finetech brand. So I'm applying it really, really lightly so it's not covering up the watercolor, because I think that would look weird, just these strips of bright metallic. But when you get that light just right, it's pretty cool. So what are Hot Pockets? I'm coming into the middle of the conversation, but aren't those breaded things that have deliciousness inside that you eat? Usually like pizza. They're kind of akin to the survival food college people eat, like Top Ramen, Hot Pockets. Yeah, I think this will be very pretty. Put a little bit of this metallic paint in the snow. And I'm going to switch to kind of bluish metallic paint and just kind of tap this around the trees a little bit. Make them look like they have like a little bit of snow to them. And then I need to fix her lips. She's got no lips. Ew, don't smudge. Alright, so earlier in the stream, you guys asked me how do you not smudge. So this is the time that I will use that because I need to be right over top of my painting, but it's still a little wet. I don't want to smudge the paint, so I'm just going to very carefully lay in the paint. But I brace my hand on the paintbrush so it's not on the actual paper. There we go. Let's see. A little bit of that green for her other glove over here. Alright, we're going to let this set for a second and dry up before I go and I'll tap in some few darker tones. So this has been fun. Are we glitching? Oh dear. Glitches. Is it noise that's glitching? What's glitching? Is it the face cam? So tell me what part is glitching. I just see a lot of talking of glitches. Hey, it's Alicia. Has to go to bed. Good night, Alicia. Well, I think in all, it has been a successful painting. I think after it dries, I'll probably go back in and darken in my shadows, but my paper is getting pretty warped. So, oh, it is glitching. I can see it right there. Why are you glitching? Bad camera, bad camera. Anyway, so maybe that is a good indication that we can put this stream to a close. So yeah, it's been fun. It's been fun blowing out your guys' eardrums with like excitement. And I will try to remember all of the links that I said I would put in the description box at the end of this video. So give me a couple minutes to do that. If I forget any after the stream is over, just put that in the comments that you haven't updated the links to the different places I said that I would. I can't remember half of them now, but I should have written them down. Anyway, it's been a fun stream. It's been a long stream too. Oh, I'm getting better at streams. It used to be like 45 minutes was my normal stream time, so that's been fun. But yeah, well, thank you guys for hanging out with me in this video, and yeah, when I get this completely finished, I will upload some pictures to Instagram and places like that so you can take a peek at it. And if you guys worked on something, I would love to see what you did during the stream, so make sure to share your photos with me. You can either put it on our Facebook page so that everyone can see, or tag me in Instagram or on Twitter, or you can send me an email with the photos. I'll put all the information in the should be in the description box of this video. Well, thank you guys again, and until next time, God bless you guys, and we'll see you later. Bye bye. I have to turn it off now. Bye.